Welcome to Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made by real estate agents and for real estate agents. My name's DJ Paris. I'm your guide and host through the show. Today is our monthly series called Better Business with Ben. Ben Lalez from the Ben Lalez Group is here. He's a Chicago broker, top 1% broker, has a huge team. He is constantly focused on educating and strengthening the skills of his team. This is how they outproduce pretty much every other team here in the Chicagoland area.
Country.
And in the country. And what did you do last year in production?
We did 288 million closed, 210 closed and pending on 397 sales transactions.
You know your numbers. I love that. Yeah. So Ben is the rainmaker at his group, and his job is to make sure that his team is ultra skilled. And so I'm really excited what we're going to talk about today, because this is a topic that I think I've never addressed on the show. We're going to talk about I'll let you sort of bring it up, but What do you think one of the most important sort of parts of a business that realtors are missing right now? What do you think it is?
Okay, so as we're sitting here, it is the beginning of February. We kind of are done with business planning mode, at least in my world, right? So everyone has their
goals.
Their goals, the things that they want to do for the year, how much volume, how much money they want to put in the bank. What are the marketing initiatives, et cetera, that they want to get done? And something that I've seen, I'll say on my team, and I've seen with agents always, is they misunderstand you talk about mindset all the time, but they misunderstand the level of urgency that is required to do this job at the highest level. And those that I think the majority of your listeners aspire to be operate at a level of urgency that they don't quite understand. And I've gone back and forth on whether or not this is a skill that can be taught or if it's innate. But I'm going to take this time to try and unpack it so that our listeners can see if they're doing enough. And I'll give some examples about what this looks like, and are they operating with the level of urgency that they need to be able to be successful?
So we're talking about time to act, or the time it takes to act and react.
So I think it's certainly act and react. I think the most basic example of urgency it's the cliche of cliches is speed to lead, right? If my phone were to ring in certain circumstances, I'm sorry, I'm stepping out.
Sure.
Even during this.
Of course.
And it just is what it is.
Business first.
And I think even that may be lost on some people. The number of fights I've gotten in with my wife. I'm sorry. We just got in this fight. That call, if I look at it, you do a quick calculation, that could be $10,000 calling. I love you to death, but I'm taking this call.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a priority shift, but there's also, okay, I'm going to take this call. I'm going to be prepared for this call. And on this call, I'm going to know what the result is that I want.
Right.
I know what I want, and I'm going to get it at all costs, because I didn't quite put this together until, I don't know, in the last 2 years. I move like my life depends on it, because it does.
Yeah.
My livelihood depends on it, my wife's livelihood, my 3 children's livelihood, my team's livelihood. It rests on my ability to get things done, get it done fast, get it done right. And I'm even trying to give that level of urgency in this conversation now. It's like,
sure.
I want to be able to distribute this information in a way that people can consume. Why? Because my life depends on it. And even right now, which is a complex thing to unpack that I probably should talk about with my therapist. But why am I bringing this level of urgency to this conversation? I don't know. That's how I move through everything always.
I think urgency is really critical because it's something we don't often think about. We tend to think in terms of goals and sort of outcome. And what we don't think about is, with respect to urgency, is you've talked about this, is having an intention behind every action. So you talk about getting that call. It's not just, hey, I need to take this call because a client's calling me. It's, I need to take this call because this moves the ball down the field for this particular thing that I'm going after. And if maybe that call wouldn't have done that, maybe you wouldn't have taken that call, but you would know what your outcome is most of the time before taking action, correct?
Yeah. So of course, you know, DJ, you and I were talking about like all of the things that go into, I would say, preparing for this example. Let's use this call lead example. All the things that you could, you know, do before that call comes in. What should happen with regards to CRM and operations and systems. But I'm primarily talking about when that call comes in. It's let me like find that, or you know, we're going to say the word a lot, that urgency, and say, okay, this call is everything to me right now.
Yeah.
And if it's a lead, I am getting that appointment or I'm going to die trying.
Right.
You know, love him, hate him. Like Lalez is the king of this. Like he is going to get the result or that client's going to tell him to go F himself. And he is happy with either result.
Right.
And that's how, you know, you can say it a trillion times, but I think this is lost on 97% of agents across the country.
Yeah.
Whether they know it or not. And if they're listening and they're saying, I move with urgency, no, you don't. Sorry, you don't.
Yeah. I think you're right. Taking your life that seriously, because you're right. Everything matters. Everything counts. Nothing doesn't count. Everything counts. So we are talking about having a plan for basically every minute of the day that you can structure, and then having a plan for the unstructured stuff that comes in and interrupts your life, and knowing exactly what you're going to do, understanding your role, your boundaries, your goals, and then of course getting your family on board with all of that is fine. But I think most people just don't even have that plan set up.
Yeah, and I think having a plan is really important. And once you do, okay, again, it's attacking that plan that, you know, if you did it right, you spend a lot of time on. And I am literally preaching this to my team all the time. I didn't come up with your plan. I helped you structure it. I helped you make it look, feel, sound right, and be, you know, it's like the classic example is it's achievable, it's smart, it's specific, measurable, actionable, results-oriented, and time-driven.
Sure.
Right, we did it. You did it. Now get it done like your life depends on it.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is like urgency and hard work. They're two very simple ideas, but when you get underneath it, I think they're the chief drivers of your success. And it's like, I really don't want people to be like, this episode is about urgency and hard work. Goodbye. Like, because it's so simple.
Right.
But it's not easy.
And we're not talking about bothering people, like urgent, making people feel pressured or stressed. We're talking about you as an individual taking your actions so seriously. For example, I recruit realtors, and you know, we have a certain amount of offering that we provide at our firm. Of course, every firm has their version of whatever their pitch is, and I want the people who go through and I'm lucky enough, and that's maybe the first part of it is
gratitude.
feeling lucky. Yeah, and not even grateful, like it is gratitude, but lucky. Like, how lucky am I that somebody is giving me an opportunity? There's like 300 firms that they could join. They're giving me an opportunity. Like, who am I? I'm nobody, right? So that's pretty cool. So I take that real seriously. Now, I don't pressure them into joining our firm because that's not my style, but I make sure that experience is going to be better than any other experience I think that they're going to have talking to any other firm. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's my goal. My goal is like, I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to feel appreciated, seen, heard. And afterwards, I'm going to send them all sorts of tools and things just so that they know I'm still thinking about them, because it's so important to me that they join. And by the way, only maybe quarter of them do, right? But that's a pretty good track record. But I treat every single one like it's the most important thing I've ever done.
So if people are watching or listening, I don't actually think it matters. It's the approach. Like, I felt that DJ Paris's life depended on that one phone call. Right? But
exactly.
And it's this kind of ethereal idea that I need to move through my day and through each activity like my life depends on it.
Yeah.
If I want to have success. But that is what you take the top 50 in Chicago, that's how they're moving through their day. I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
maybe one of them has stuff fall into their lap. No.
I have a friend, Amy Duong Kim. She's an agent here. You might probably know her.
Amy,
She's
she's
a
at Compass.
fellow Compass agent. She's out in the western suburbs somewhere. And I asked her, why are you successful? Why are you a top 1% producer? Like, what do you do all day? She goes, every single day, I pound the phone from like 8 to 12. I literally start at A at the beginning of the year. I just go down my contact list on my phone and I call every single person in there. And I'm like, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? Hey, do you have anything you need? She'll ask, do you have any home projects you want completed? I can help you figure that out. Are you thinking about making a move? She doesn't necessarily even talk real estate, but she's like, if I stop doing that, she's like, my phone will stop ringing. And that's how urgent. She's like, it's the most important thing I do every day. It's so simple, yet it's easy not to do.
Yeah. And I think that's a great example of kind of my next point is I, again, don't believe that people even know what hard work looks like, sounds like, feels like. I don't.
Explain that to me.
Everybody listening to this, I guarantee thinks they're working hard.
Sure. Everybody also thinks they're super intelligent. And
Yeah.
we always overestimate our own abilities. Yeah.
They're not working hard. And I think it's very easy to trick yourself into, like, I've done enough today. I did all this stuff.
I can tell on myself, I do not work hard enough. 100% agree. And I need to push myself to. In fact, I hired a guy in Germany to hold me accountable because I do not work hard enough. I actually pay somebody to crack the whip on me because I have this problem.
So I'm kind of synthesizing this in real time.
Yeah.
Right. I think recognizing and being able to look in the mirror and be like, I am not working hard enough is probably the first step.
Right.
But also, knowing what it looks like and sounds like is important. I think I actually had the benefit of seeing firsthand what it looked like because I had a chair next to Karen Biazar, North Clybourne Group. I'm like, holy shit. Like, she is, I thought I was working hard and I see her. And she's there, first one in, last one out.
Yep.
It's Saturdays, Sundays. I've never seen her not glued to her phone. Great. I learned, and then I, structured my life to look something like that. And what it turned into was, okay, like, of course I have to brush my teeth, right? I have to take a shower. But it became 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday. That was the standard. And often, 8 p.m. turned into negotiations at 9, writing offer at 10, talking to my client at 10:30, getting it over, forcing the other agent to stay awake. And if not, it was, I wrote 2 books. It's the definitive Chicago Home Buying Guide and Seller Guide. Those were a product of, I need to get this done. No time like the present. I don't have anything going on. All of a sudden, it's 1 in the morning. Right? And then I'm like, oh, cool, it's 1 in the morning. Okay, how do I actually get this printed and bound? And that's my example of hard work.
Yeah.
And it has taken me 3, 4, 5, 6 years before I can, I still work really hard, but it looks really different. It's not, these very actionable agent level things. Now it's more working on the business. But if you're still in that position where you're working in the business, which I think 90+% of your listeners are, okay, take this as the first opportunity to hear from someone who has done it, what it looks like. And if you need to, go find that top producer, and I guarantee you
hang out with them for a week.
You will be mind boggled at how much they're able to get done with the same number of hours that you claim you're working hard.
Yeah, you always want to align yourself with somebody doing just either a little bit better or a lot better than you are, and you will see massive opportunities that you didn't recognize because you haven't been exposed to people who can work that efficiently.
I want to give an example. Okay, so I quoted 188 million closed. Okay, 45 of that came from one person on the team. His name is Mark, and he gets a lot of opportunity from me personally. And one day, his day was stacked and he needed my help. Okay, he needed an extra set of eyes. He needed me to hold a client's hand, whatever the case may be, right? So he picks me up from my house at 8. We had to visit 5 different, I think it was all listings. Okay, God bless. And we On property number 1, we met a contractor. Property 2, we met a stager. Property 3, we met the seller. Property 4, we took photos and did a video. Property 5, he was meeting a roofer and structural engineer, and it was all lined up. I got back. This is not an exaggeration. I got back to our office, picked me up at 8. We got back at 1.
Wow.
I was winded.
Yeah, that's
I
a
was
lot.
I was actually breathing heavy.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit, what did we just do? And for those people like being like, oh my God, I wish I could do 45 million. Are you crazy?
That's what they're doing.
And guess what? He dropped me off. He still had 1 to 9
right.
going.
That's not even half his day probably.
Yeah, and there are all of these influencers who are like, my first day is 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. And and then my second day starts. It's 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And there are people actually doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you want to get there, guess what? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I was having this conversation this morning on another live stream. We were talking about this NAR stat that I think kind of factors into.
I think it does.
And this has to do with what home sellers actually want from realtors and this huge gap between what home sellers want and what they actually get. So 73% of home sellers in 2025 that NAR surveyed said that they want custom videos made about their property.
Social media video.
Social media, but not a listing video from Matterport, or they want that too.
Set to smooth jazz.
Right. That's a given. If you're not doing that, you're missing a huge opportunity there. But yes, in addition, doing personalized videos about the property from you, the agent, and posting it somewhere online. Now, 73% want this. Only 10% said that they got it. So this is an amazing opportunity. So here's the action step. Really simple. If you're lucky enough to get a listing, again, that idea of they chose me. You find 5 or 6 cool things about the property. There's always 5 or 6 cool things about every property. And you make 30-second videos. You're like, I'm DJ. I'm at this property, such and such address. You got to come see this thing in the master bathroom. I got to show this to you. If you want to come see this, by the way, give me a call. Even it could be that simple. You turn your phone around. It's 4K. You don't need any fancy equipment or editing. You just do that, and you do 5 of those for each property. Not only will the sellers be thrilled. Oh, by the way, you're going to tag the sellers, of course, in every one of those social media posts. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to send it to everybody they know. They'll be like, look what my agent does. Look at how passionate my agent is about my property. That's another level of urgency that people don't think. They just go, I'm going to hire the photography services. They're going to come out. They're going to do all that. And yes, you got to do that too. But you as the agent need to have so much urgency. We're like, I got to show this stuff to everybody I know.
And these ideas, I think the problem is that they're a little bit ethereal, urgency, hard work, right? It's everything, but it's doing it almost it's simple. It's as fast, as efficient, as well as possible, and then doing it more often than your counterpart. And surprise, surprise, you're going to have more success. And I'm going to say it again. I am, again, lucky enough, like you said, I've, worked with 60, 70 agents at this point. And surprise, surprise, 7, 8 of them have this.
Yeah.
And the rest, I'm trying to literally, please,
for your own sake.
Yeah, for your own,
Yeah.
This, I'm telling you exactly how, and honest to God, DJ, at the end of the year, first of all, they're not angry that they didn't hit their goals, which
Right.
is outrageous to me. But they're like, yeah, it didn't happen. And you can go into a million reasons, why that's the case. You could get into, if you're not, there's a classic example. You need to be, reaching for something, but you also have to be scared of something behind you. And those two forces acting in tandem maybe will give you the urgency that you need. But you might need to manufacture what it is that you need to actually develop these traits.
Yeah, I think we act as if we'll live forever. That's the other thing too. Is oh, we have all the time in the world. It's like, no, you don't. You only have literally, you only have this moment, and then you have the next moment, and then eventually you won't have another moment. But you don't know when that is. And if you want to make things happen, you have to. Every moment is critical.
Yeah.
It just is, and you have to take it very, very seriously.
Yeah. And honestly, when you are newer or even in the middle of your career, and this is why I kind of like steered away when you were trying to get me to talk about systems and operations and planning, because I think
We can get stuck there.
so many people.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
fun. That's the fun part. Learning systems and figuring that out. It seems like you're being productive, but you're not actually doing the work.
You're not doing anything.
Right.
I'll give a beautiful example. We have an agent on our team. He, I think, does work really hard, and one of his goals was to call X number of people last year, and he would always sit down with me to be like, okay, well, I really want to get this system figured out. So that
Sure.
I'm like, how many of these did you fucking close last year? He's like, one. I'm like, what are we talking about? Why are you building a system for one human?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I would rather, DJ, you get 18 leads and 5, 10 slip through the cracks
Right.
because of your lack of systems and processes,
Right.
right? And you close 10, then build unbelievable systems and processes. Have a perfect day planned and close one.
I know people that have been on my show in 2025 that literally knock on doors and it works. And it's like, you can't imagine that would actually work. And they knock on 100 doors and they get maybe like 1 lead or 2 leads, but it works and they become top producers. Like anything can work. It's just get to it.
Yeah. The point I'm trying to make is I'm tired of, everyone who's listening, it's just like excuses. And maybe it's excuses, but actually I take that all back. I don't think people know what it looks like, sounds like, feels like to work as hard as it takes to be successful, and I know.
This is why I hire a personal trainer. I mean, thankfully, I have the ability to do that. So I'm super grateful that I've gotten to a place in life where I can afford that. And she has me do things that every single exercise is the hardest exercise I have ever done. No exception. And that's what a trainer does. I wouldn't be able to do that on my own. I just wouldn't.
So DJ, I feel like am I the only person who does this when you are theoretically interviewing me? You are of the 700 people you have interviewed, call it 500 people because you have duplicates. You are probably in the top 20% of those people on the success scale.
On the podcast scale?
No, on
just
your
my
individual
own success.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I want you to go back to like the start of your career.
Yeah.
What did that look like before you had the money?
Yeah.
Before you had the ability to hire a trainer or hire someone in Germany, et cetera. What did it look like?
I had to do everything for free. I think my first year in this business, by the way, I was at an IT company doing marketing. I'm not a real estate guy. I was from the IT world. I'm branding at that time. I was making $105,000 a year. Great salary. This was 2009, 10. Then they eliminated my position because they were trying to sell the company, and I was one of the more highly paid people, so they got rid of me. Then I went to work where I am now, and my first year I made $30,000. Like, it was soul crushing.
Okay, stop. What did it look like to even get to $30,000?
Oh my God.
No, I want specifics.
I worked the exact number of hours I did then as I do today. I treated it like it was the most important job I could have ever had.
Okay, more specific.
Okay, I got in early, I stayed late, I made phone calls because we didn't have any agents. My job was to get agents. We had nothing to offer, really. All we could offer was high commissions, low fees. We had no systems, we had no tools, we had no training, no support.
So what did you do?
I called every agent that didn't need those things and just wanted to get paid more. And I said, please come work for us. We'll pay you more. You already know what you're doing, and we'll charge you less. And you just go off and do your thing. And it was hard. It's still hard.
And what was your approach when you were, in that first year?
Approach. So I'm
thinking more mindset.
Mindset was, this is the best deal I can give somebody, and they should see the opportunity here. Like, I'm actually doing them a favor. I'm going to make them more money. That was my deal. Like, I passionately believe that. So I was like, no, I'm not here to sell you anything. Like, I'm actually here to offer you, like, do you need your firm, your current firm you're at? Do they actually do anything for you? If not, come over to our firm. We're going to do the same level of nothingness, right? And at least we're going to pay you more. At least we're going to pay you what you're worth. Now, what's been really exciting is over 15 years, we now have all those tools and services, and we still have super low
But
fees.
I want you to talk about the level of urgency and
Oh my
hard
gosh.
work that you put in those first 3, 4, or 5 years.
I created the position. I wasn't going to have a job. I wasn't going to be able to pay my mortgage. I had to borrow money for 1 month from my sister, which is, I've never borrowed money in my life. I had to borrow like $5,000 just to keep my mortgage paid. That's how hard it was. And I was just, I was in appointments all day long. Sometimes I would do 8 hours of appointments with people, pleading with them, please come over here. And most of them didn't.
And what happened in year 2?
Yeah, I think we had, so when I started, maybe we had 2 agents. Maybe in year 2, we had 20 agents. Maybe year 3, close to 100.
In years 1, 2, 3, did that urgency and, I mean, almost desperation, did that?
Total desperation.
Okay. Did that go away?
No, because it's just like what I said about Amy. If I stop doing what I do, the phone is going to stop ringing.
In the last 3 years,
Yeah.
how different does it look?
It's exactly the same.
Okay, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do exactly the same stuff.
And
Yeah.
if you take anybody in this industry where it's eat what you kill,
Yeah.
right? It's going to look like that.
Yes.
And I pray that this resonates with 3, 4 people, and they're like, oh, like, I suck.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with.
And that's not, it's not even a judgment. It's just telling
facts.
the truth.
It's facts.
Yeah, you look, I have to hire a guy in Germany to keep me on track because I don't keep myself on track. Like, I wish I didn't have to do that, but I have to do that. I'm honest about it, but at least I have somebody to hold me accountable. And I think everybody needs somebody to hold them accountable.
And it's kind of to the point where, like, if your calendar doesn't look like this, right? You're not even close.
If you want to double your business next year, you have to double the number of appointments you have. It's just that simple.
You need to double the amount of hours that you are working.
Yeah.
And then great. If you can be efficient with those hours, great. And if you can apply systems, great. But you have to train yourself to work for no results.
Yeah.
And I've said it 100 times. I'm going to say it again. If you want to be sitting in my seat, you want to sit in Larry's seat or Greg's seat or Carrie or Emily or any of those names, right? Good luck, because those motherfuckers are crazy.
They work for free.
They are crazy.
Yeah.
They're psychotic. I would argue that the middle of the pack, top 100, they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, that's just the truth.
Yeah, it's yes. I think most people don't take their life seriously
DJ,
enough.
you're crazy. I know you. And
I'm a little crazy.
No. And I had to recognize that I'm crazy. And, you know, when I coach, I'm like, okay, most people don't have this level of crazy, and I don't know if I can teach it. I know you.
Yeah.
Your mind works different.
Yeah.
And you have it. The question is, how do others unlock this level of urgency, desperation, and hard work so that they can be sitting here or here one day?
You have to create obstacles. You have to create that boulder behind you that's chasing you. If you don't have desperation, like you said, it's a gift. Desperation is a gift because it gets you to actually do things. And I wish it was more the carrot versus the stick, but for me it's the stick. I need to think about, oh my God, I won't be able to pay my mortgage. I won't be able to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm not operating out of this massive fear. It doesn't rule. In fact, it actually motivates me because I'm like, oh no, I know I can do it. It's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah. I'll tell you where it came from for me. And I'll be honest, I come from a upper middle class background. I kind of still have a backside, and I'm blessed to have that. But even when I was, getting started in my career, I had that backstop, right? So what was driving me? And the first thing for me was I was sitting in a sales meeting, and I was a general contractor at the time. This is like 2015 or 16. And they put the rankings up, and I was doing $4 million, and this person was doing 20.
Mm.
And I'm like, they're doing 20 and I'm doing 4?
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me? And you do the math. I'm like, they're making how much? And that has continued. So, I surpassed them. And then I look up, I'm like, that person is doing 35? Like, no effing way. Like, that person's doing 6. I could do that.
Yeah.
And it was, for me, it's like, the desperation came from proving it to me.
Yeah.
To me. I'm like, that person's not smarter. They don't work harder.
Right.
They're not as smart or whatever it is. And I probably invented it, but I am still, unfortunately, I have 5 more people to chase.
Sure.
But I'm also looking back and I'm like, that motherfucker's not catching up to me either.
Right.
And that's me, right? And is it innate? I don't know. But you have to have that something. The boulder are those people behind me. I'm like, those people are not catching up to me. I would rather die, right? And I'm chasing these people, and I'm at the top of the mountain now. And like, these people are continuing to climb a mountain that I can't even see right now.
Yeah.
And I desperately want to get there because I think I can. I think I owe it to myself, my family, and others, or at least that's the story I'm telling myself, but so far so good.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned this. I have some top producers, I won't mention names, here in Chicago who message me because I have access to all the broker rankings in real time. And it's just a piece of software that most agents don't have. And so they'll message me and they'll be like, what's the person above me doing right now? Like, what's their production today? They want to know. And I think like, well, what does it matter, right? You're already number 3. They're like, no, I want to be number 2. And it's not because number 2 means anything more than just I can get better, I can do better. Yeah. It's not I need to be number 1 or number 2. That's not important to them. They just want to get better at their job.
So I am really nervous that we just repeated ourselves for 30 minutes. I hope that's not the case. And I if anyone is still, we're at minute 30. We just got a little wave. Shout out to Content Club Chicago. But we just got a little wave saying, hey, we're at 30 minutes. But if you're here and this resonated with you, I want you to DM me, the Ben Lalez team on Instagram. DM me. I want to know if this resonated. Why? Because I right now have a little, for whatever reason, maybe it's a desire to be the best, or I'm trying to prove something to my dad. I don't know what it is, right?
Yeah.
But even right now, I want to do the best I can for you, for the people watching, and for myself.
Oh, I take every episode so seriously. I do. And you have children, so you're doing this also to show them this is a pathway to happiness. It's actually a pathway to happiness.
I had a meeting with an architect. I'm coming here. I ran a sales meeting in the morning. I'm stacked the day, but I'm bringing, and I hope you can feel it.
Oh yeah.
I desperately want to succeed. I desperately want to be at the top of the mountain here in Chicago and hopefully beyond in some near future. I desperately need to provide a life that I want to give to my wife and family. And that, it's funny, maybe it's not urgency, it's moving with a sense of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
It bleeds through everything.
And you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because you're always moving towards what you want.
Yeah. And I've also, right now, I have the benefit of knowing that it works.
Right.
Whereas people watching, listening, they have to go through some shit, some mud for 3 years before they get the results.
100%.
Which is a level of psychosis.
I have tried so many things that have failed. In fact, I still try things that fail. Most everything I try fails. But that's the kind of the fun part is it fails and you go, oh, no, just try something else.
It's not fun. Don't lie to
people. No, it isn't fun to fail.
To
it isn't fun to fail, but it's fun to then go, okay, what's the next move?
There is someone listening right now who is 6 months in. And they're like, and maybe they are acting with this level of desperation and urgency, and they're working their ass off, right? And they haven't seen the results. For that person whoever it is, keep doing it, and it's going to be nearly impossible for the next 2.5 years to not see the results. But it's coming, and you have to believe in it.
Oh, it is coming. Yeah, it is coming. Most people stop way too soon. Mm-hmm. They just stop, and because they don't get that immediate gratification. Yeah, I've been doing this 15 years, and the things I do today don't usually bear fruit for about a year.
Wrap us up, DJ.
All right. Thank you to Ben Lalez, our monthly partner with respect to the series, which is always a lot of fun for me to do. Ben, I appreciate it. Shout out to Content Club for hosting us here. If you're a local Chicago agent and you need videography services, you need a place to record content, edit content.
They go off site now.
And they go to where you are. They're awesome. We've been here for years now and really appreciate all the people here. And for everyone listening, thank you for sticking around to the end of the episode. Please send this over to an agent that is wondering, what do top producers do? How do they get to the top of the mountain? Ben is at the top or climbing to the top, and he just told us. Let them know about this show. That's how you can support us, also support our sponsors. And as always, we will appreciate you. We will see you on the next episode. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, DJ.